So I'm not harping on it too much because I'm just like, all right, he want his friends to be there. We can still make the best of it. Even though I didn't want his friends to be there, I wanted to just be us. I'm just like, we'll make the best of it, whatever. It's whatever. So that Saturday come around, we ended up going down, driving down to the fair. The whole time that we was driving down, Marlon was in the car complaining because I had Carter that weekend. I literally wanted to go to the fair because I knew I was going to have Carter that weekend. So I'm taking all the kids to the fair. But we're in the car. Marlon's in the car complaining because he's like, his car's so small, he can just hear the kids. They all in the back seat just loud, this and that. So he was irritated to ride to the fair. So I'm just like, all right, okay. When we get out the car, I'll try to make it a little bit better, whatever. So we got down to Perry, finding a parking spot. He was a little bit irritated about finding a parking spot too because the car was, in his eyes, the car was small and the kids was like right there in his ear being loud. He was irritated. So he ended up calling his friend, Rob and Kim and saying like, hey y'all, where y'all at? When y'all gonna get here? And they ended up letting him know that, look, that we ain't coming. And he was just like, dang, sorry, it's cool, right? Next time, bro, next time. Whatever. Hung up the phone, got the car. You could tell that Marlon was irritated. He was so irritated. So we're walking. I'm trying to make the best of it. I'm like, all right, kids, like we about to have fun at the fair. Like, oh my God, we about to ride, this and that. Like, hyping up, trying to get them excited. But they was already excited because like, oh, we at the fair. So we walking in, and Marlon still had this irritated look on his face. So I go and I get the wristbands, well, the little ticket card or whatever. Not, we standing in line. Marlon's like, this is a long line. I was like, yeah, well, that's how it is with the fair. He was just like, all right, you get a card, I get a card. I was like, okay, so we splitting up. He was like, yes, you take Kion, I'm gonna take the big kids, and me and the big kids gonna do our thing, and then you and Kion can do your thing, and then we can meet around the end. And I was just like, okay, I guess so. All right, because that's not what we had talked about. We had talked about staying together. Like, yes, I know that there are certain rides that Kion can get on, that Jackson and Carter, that Jackson and Carter can get on, that Kion can't get on, but that's not what we talked about. We talked about keeping everybody together, and then when it's time for the boys to get on the ride, they go get on their ride. Me and Kion go do their thing. We switching out. That's what we talked about. But he completely changed the plan we got there. And I'm just like, all right, that's probably because he's irritated. But my whole thing is, if you are irritated with the kids, why are you trying to be with the kids? So after we got our little cars, after he said that, we got our little cars and we started walking. He was like, oh, lemonade, let me go get me some lemonade. And I'm like, all right, cool. And but Jackson and Carter was pointing at rides they wanted to get on. I'm like, all right, go stand in the line, whatever. And they go stand in the line. Marla go stand in the lemonade line, and I'm standing there with Kion, and Kion's like, I'm like, well, we just gonna follow your brothers while they go, stand in their line. What ended up happening that day is Jackson and Carter, they got on their rides. Me and Kion, we ended up getting on a couple of rides. Marlon was nowhere to be found. The first 20 minutes, Marlon was off doing his thing. Whatever. Then we linked up with Marlon. Marlon ended up getting on a couple of rides with, Jackson and Carter. But again, you could tell that he was irritated. He was not having fun. And I was just like, I wasn't having fun because I was trying to make sure Carter and Jackson was having fun. And then Kion was having fun. But he was complaining because he couldn't get on the rides with Jackson and Carter. So for me, it's like I'm constantly in mommy mode trying to juggle everything. And I got this big ass kid that's supposed to be my man acting like a child because his friends aren't here. It's like, whatever. So towards the end of the night, I'm like, Marlon, we didn't get on anything together. I wanted to ride a couple of rides with you. We didn't get on them together. He was just like, oh, well, let's get on this mouse ride right here. I'm like, all right, cool. We ended up getting on the ride, but he was not excited about the ride. So I'm just like, all right, well, let's go get a turkey leg. Let me let you taste the turkey leg. I got him a turkey leg. He ate the turkey leg, but it's still like he wasn't giving that excitement. My sisters they did not end up coming. So it literally was just me, Marlon, and the kids. And oh my God, that was the worst I was so stressed out and frustrated because I'm just like, I don't have a partner with me. I have an additional child, because that's how Marlon was acting the entire time, like a pouting ass child. So I was dealing with 4 kids, 4 boys at that fair, trying to fund everything, whatever. So after the fair, after we leave the fair, get in the car, of course Marlon in the car complaining about the kids being loud. So I'm just like, hey, y'all simmer down, y'all take a nap, go to sleep, just go to sleep. I'm like, Marlon, let's just stop off, get something to eat, go to a restaurant, get something to eat, and then I'm sure once we eat, they'll be back to sleep. And that's exactly what happened. We went, got something to eat, got back in the car, the kids were asleep, went back, to the house, whatever. I wasn't saying too much because I was starting to get irritated, because I was so excited about the fair, like so excited, and then so excited about like taking him, because this was his first time ever going. I'm just like, oh, we about to do boom boom boom. And then it was that experience. Like, why the fuck you knew the kids was irritated. We could have took the truck, but you wanted to take the car to save on gas, which I'm like, all right, cool. The truck had more space, but all right, we took the car to save on gas. Do not complain about the kids being loud, because the car, it's a compact car with 3 boys in the back. Of course you're gonna hear them. Like, but I felt like I was dealing with Darian in that moment. Like, when we got back, that's why I was so irritated, because I'm just like, with Darian, when the kids got on his nerves, he became irritated. It was just like, and I felt like I was dealing with Darian's irritated energy when dealing with Marlon, and I was just like, I don't like that. I don't like that. So I get home, I ended up going to sleep. Next day, woke up, went to work. Well, though next day was Sunday. I did not wake up, go to work. Next day, woke up, everything was normal. Marlon had went out to go fish, whatever not, and like kind of have his little space. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me get this man his space. He was acting so irritated when we was at the fair. I ain't got time to deal with that. Whatever. So that day went how that went. The next day, I woke up, went to work. When I went to work, my coworkers, they was asking me, they was just like, how was the fair? So I ended up telling them like how this nigga acted at the damn fair, because I'm just like, yo, the fair was supposed to be fun, but Marlon was irritated with the kids. I'm like, it could have been a little bit better, but I'm like, but overall, it was okay. It was okay. I'm not gonna say it was bad, because the kids had a good time. It was okay. I just wish that I could have enjoyed it a little bit better, or whatever. And they were just like, all right, okay. So as I'm talking with them, I get a message from D asking if he can talk to Kion. And I'm like, what? Talk to this is so out of the blue, because the last message I got for him was in July, when he was like threatening to come find me, this and that, and now we're in October and he's asking to talk to Kion. So I'm like, what the hell? So I text him back. I'm just like, sure. He's like, well, can I like FaceTime him, video chat him and Jackson? I'm like, yeah, sure. And he was like, do you want to see King? I'm like, yes, I would love to see King. So he ended up calling me. And when he called, I answered. He called me on video chat. I answered, and I was like, hey, I had the phone away from my face, because I didn't know who was going to be on the other end of that video call. I didn't know if it was going to be him or King, but I didn't want to see him. So I answered the phone. I was like, hey, and it was him on the phone. I laid the phone down, because I don't want to see his face. Like, I'm like, I do not want to see Darian. He was like, hey, let me get the phone to King. He handed the phone to King. And when he handed the phone to King, I was like, hey, King. King was like, hey, Mom. And I was like, I miss you so much, buddy. He's like, I miss you too, Mom. And I was like, you doing okay? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, your speech is getting better. He was like, yeah. Well, where's Jackson? I was like, oh, Jackson, he's at the house. I'm going to call you as soon as I get around Jackson. I'm going to call you and let you talk to Jackson, okay? He was like, okay. And then he hung up the phone. We hung up the phone. I went home, like, finished out the day, went home, and on the way home is when I called him, because I did not want to call Darian when I was at the house. I don't know. It was something in me that was just like, I felt like it was a little bit disrespectful to talk to Darian in the house with me and Marlon living. I don't know. I don't know. So I ended up calling. I ended up texting Darren. And was just like, "Hey, is King okay to talk or whatever?" And he was just like, "Yeah." So I ended up calling on FaceTime. I was like, "Okay, I'm calling you right now." Ended up calling back on video chat or whatever not. And when I called back, King looked different. Um, he looked different, and I was like, "Hey, King." He was like, "Hey, Mom." I was just like, I got Jackson and Kaya with me. You want to talk to him?" He was like, "Yeah." And I put him on the phone.